I really am so nervous and excited because I literally dreamed up this concept over 8 years ago. When the photo marketing story branding first came to me, the concept of it, pretty much right behind it came the understanding that I can't do this alone, that I'm going to need to teach photographers the photo marketing story branding system, because the I have a dream, is that every local business community would have a photo marketing story branding specialist in the business community to help the local businesses. So that's the whole concept, that it's right there with the business community. So the fact that this is actually happening after 8 years of I've been the only one doing the photo marketing story branding, and now I have the system, and I have the course ready. I am just grateful and excited. I'm so happy to share it with you. So I'm going to start from the beginning. I'm going to start from what got this whole thing started. So again, welcome to Paid, the Power of Photo Marketing Story Branding in Your Photography Business. And what happened was 10 years ago, which I can't believe it was 10 years, 10 years ago, I moved somewhere new. I moved overseas. What happens when you move somewhere new? You look for services, right? You look for a new hairstylist, accountant, dentist, doctor, lawyer, everyone and everything, right? How do you look for them? How do you look for the services? Well, I think first what I do is I ask my friends, I ask my family, I ask for referrals. So that's what I did. So I asked everybody that I knew. Then what's the next thing that you do after they recommend someone to you? You Google them, right? I mean, that's what I do. I Google them, I Yelp them, I see what I can find about them, because these are all small businesses and we do business with people we know, like, and trust. So I want to know who they are before I go there. So I started Googling the people. I started Googling the people that were recommended to me, the small businesses. And I looked for the accountant first. So I typed his name and I found his website. Excuse me. I typed his name, I found his website. I went on his website, and all I could see was a picture of this kid with the painted hands, which this is the picture that I saw. One of these shots. And I said, what? Okay, so I went to the next website, to the next person that was recommended to me, and it was a dentist. And I said, okay, so I Googled the dentist, and I go on his website, and he has the picture of the kid with the painted hands on his website. I said, all right. Went to the third person, I don't remember what it was, but it was totally different, something different, hairstylist. One version or another of the kid with the painted hands. And I literally stopped. It stopped me in my tracks. And I said, what is going on here? Why should I work with you? Who are you? Why should I give you my business? I need to know who you are. So I realized right there and then that there is a problem, that when we all went online, the small businesses lost their biggest asset. They lost their story. They lost their one thing that separates them from the competition. Big businesses had no problem, right? They had no issue. They went ahead, they went online, they have an advertising department, they have a marketing budget. All these big businesses can show us a kid eating French fries and we all start crying, right? They know how to do it. But the small businesses really had nothing to utilize to tell their story online. So they kind of got stuck. Something else that happened is that photography became so available because of the digital age. It became so available. So everyone's holding a camera and everyone's photographing. And actually, I have some research to share with you today. And this is from MDG Advertising. In the past 6 years, we, the human race, we created 90% of the content that has ever been created. 90% of the content, that's unbelievable, right? So what happened is pictures lost their value. It just became, I mean, we see pictures all day, right? We see pictures all day, and I call it visual white noise. We don't even see them anymore. They're just kind of there. They're visual white noise. And what happened was pictures lost their value. They lost the one thing that would make us stop and go, right? They lost it. They lost it. They lost it. Pictures need to connect with us. They need to connect with us emotionally. They need to make us stop. They need to hook us. They need to get us our attention. And we lost that. We lost that in this era, in this age, that there's so much content out there. 90% of the content. I mean, that's unbelievable, right? So I started looking into research. I pulled out some information. I pulled out some research. I want to share some of that research with you because I share it with my clients, actually, my photo marketing story branding clients. So here's the first piece of research I wanted to share with you. A website gets 50 milliseconds to make a good first impression. 50 milliseconds, it's not even a second anymore. What can stop someone in their track in under a second? Let me answer this for you. Not a video and not text, only a relevant, engaging photographs. Here's another piece of research. Marketers rank images as the most important content type ahead of text and videos. You can see why, right? I mean, I just explained it. We have, what, 50 millisecond? We have 50 millisecond to convey our story online. I mean, that's crazy. Only a great photograph can do that. And as photographers, we know that. Only a great photograph can do that. Okay, one more. Content with compelling images will get 94% more total views on average than those without. 94%. I mean, to me, that's pretty much 100%. Where basically, if you do not have on your website compelling images, not just any picture, compelling images, you're not going to get views. One more piece of research. Images on Facebook receive 20% more engagement than videos and 352% more engagement than links. The power of a photograph. I mean, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir because I know we're all photographers. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, and we love photography and we appreciate photography, but it's true. And that is part of the research that I found. I want to share one last piece of research with you for today. This one is from my own research, because when I was in college, when I went to the Ohio State University, go Bucks, you know, I had to do that. When I went to the Ohio State University, I did research and wrote a thesis about the influence of photography on purchasing behavior. And in my research, what I found when I presented a photograph, 85% of the participants in my own research said that the photograph gave them a positive feeling about the product. So here we are. The right photos are what's important. However, small businesses don't really get that, right? I mean, they're like, oh, you know, we just have a camera. Someone's going to photograph it. It's going to be good enough. It's going to be okay. I'm going to share with you what I do when I speak to small businesses audience. So I show them this slide and I say, and this is a joke, don't get me seriously. This is a joke. I say that I found my next career and I've decided I'm going to be a surgeon. So I actually went on Amazon. This is a screenshot from Amazon. I went on Amazon and I found a surgical kit. You can literally buy it on Amazon and it is not expensive. So I bought the surgical kit and I am ready. Who wants to be my first patient? I asked the audience. As you can imagine, no one's jumping up and volunteering. I mean, I know it's an extreme example, but that's how I make my point that just like everything else, photography is a profession and you need to have very specific images. Not every picture is going to work. The main problem with stock photos is that they're pretty images. They're almost too pretty, and that's why they don't work. They don't connect emotionally. They tell nothing about the personal story, and there's a whole other research specifically about how stock photos don't work for small businesses. I call them placeholders. They're basically just there. So I want to share with you today the 3 biggest mistakes that I feel small businesses make online, which again, I found as I was building the photo marketing story branding concept. The 3 mistakes that small businesses make with their photo marketing online, and I call this, drum roll, the photo marketing hall of lame. So here's mistake number 1, confusing photographic message. Here's the thing here. There are 2 pictures on the same screen, and these are real websites, by the way. I just blocked their name, but I found this online. So we have 2 pictures here. The small picture looks kind of a nice little country lawyer, has the round corners, might be a little more feminine feel, right? So feels like a small town lawyer. Then on the top, we have the big city lawyer, right? We have the guy in the suit and the towers and the whole motion thing going on. So what are you? Are you a small town lawyer? Are you a big city lawyer? I'm confused. So mistake number 1, confusing photographic message. Mistake number 2, irrelevant photographs. I love this one. Real website. Why is there a scary woman here? What does this leaf have anything to do with it? What is this next to the leaf? What is that? Why is there a naked man in my tub? And did the truck bring the naked man? Mistake number 2, irrelevant photographs. What are they selling here? Yeah, so obviously they are having a problem communicating their story. Mistake number 3. Here we go. TMI, too much information. I don't know where to start here. I mean, I'm not kidding. I literally do not know where to start here. Are they giving away a house? Is she getting Botox? Who is this woman? What's happening here? So too much information is mistake number 3. My grandfather used to say about things like this, oi, 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 oi. So that's how I feel about it, oi. So these are, in my opinion, the 3 biggest photo marketing mistakes that are happening right now by small businesses online on their website and social media. Mistake number 1, the confusing photography message. Mistake number 2, irrelevant photographs. And mistake number 3, too much information. So I pulled research, like I told you, from different marketing firms and different marketing research facilities, and my own research that I did in The Ohio State University. Looked back at my experience when I was Walt Disney Imagineer's in-house photographer. Our job, and my job specifically, was to always keep the guest engaged in the experience using photography, using photos. So pulled that in and decided to create the photo marketing story branding concept. And there is no mistake that this is the picture on my business card. I mean, as you can imagine, I have 22 years of photography experience internationally. I probably have at least 1 picture that's better than this, right? There is a reason why it's here. There is a reason why it's here. And let me tell you, every time I hand out this card, somebody says to me, what's the deal with the dog? Or they want to know what's up with the dog. And that's exactly why it's there. That's the concept of photo marketing story branding, to be able to tell your story. Because we do business with people we know, like, and trust. And I'll tell you right now, there is a story behind the dog, and the story has to do with photo marketing, story branding, and me. And that's why the dog is on my business card. And what I tell people when they ask me about the dog, I always say, you have to meet with me one-on-one, and then I'll tell you the story. And then when I tell them the story, I swear them to secrecy. So they can't tell anybody else. And now they became part of this exclusive club, and they feel very close to me, obviously, because I did share something, well, pretty special with them. I told them a pretty intimate story about this dog. And when somebody else that they hand my card over to them says, what's the deal with the dog? They're going to say, go talk to Rinat. And that's what we want, right? I want to show you a couple more examples of photo marketing story branding and how it works, as opposed to any regular headshot or come photograph, you know, a pretty picture of my office. So this is Allie. Allie started the gym lab with her fiance, Zach, and shortly after, her fiance, Zach, passed away suddenly, unexpectedly. And Allie was left alone and with a gym. And when I met her, she was 6 months into operating the gym, and she decided to keep going, and she needed some new headshots. And we went through the Photo Marketing Storybranding System. Allie told me, one of the things she told me was that she felt like Zach was always with her. And so I came up with the concept of the shadow. Our shadow is always with us, right? So what you're seeing in this picture is Allie in the foreground, obviously, but the shadow is Zach. Now you tell me that is not a picture that tells a story as opposed to a headshot. That is not a picture that when you land on her website, you want to know more, right? Here's another picture, Beach A Restaurant in Orlando, Florida. If you have not been there, go, because it's amazing, and tell Carrie that I sent you. If you are Beach A's target audience, you want to know they make fresh pasta. This picture needs to be right on their website, which is exactly where it is, because you see this picture, and the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to go ahead and you are going to call them and reserve a table. That's the power of photo marketing story branding. So photo marketing story branding does 4 things. It creates a personal connection. We're bringing back the story for the small businesses. We're helping them connect back to their story. The photo marketing story branding, it's a system that's very linear. It has very specific steps. So it's not confusing, it's not artistic, it's not, I don't know, do something, photograph something. It has very specific steps, and the client is involved from beginning to end, so they know exactly what they're getting. The second thing that the photo marketing story branding gives them is an online presence. I mean, finally, they're being seen. They're not part of the visual white noise anymore, right? People are actually stopping and looking at them. The right photo to attract their target audience, and at the same time, have the people that are not their target audience click away. So these people don't waste their time or their own time. And the pop, it needs to pop. It's a picture, it actually pops, that makes you go, hey, right? Like, oh, okay. So here's another example. This is Dr. Palmer. And for Dr. Palmer, I created the evolution of the chiropractic patient. You're probably recognizing that it's based on a very famous concept. But with the photo marketing story branding, Dr. Palmer doesn't get just this picture. He actually gets a whole bank of images. And now he can use it on his social media. He can use it on his website. He can use it over time. I'm asking them actually not to use all the pictures at once. Use it here, use it there, use it over time. And each picture has a very specific reason why we photographed it. Here's another example. This is Tom Lehman. He is an excellent realtor, to the point where he's willing to go ahead and plant new plants to make the curb appeal look even better for a potential buyer. But Tom didn't get just this shot for me. He got all these pictures. Again, he got a bank of images to use on his website, on his social media, wherever he would like to use it. So I'm going to ask you this. If there is a way to make more money in your photography studio without having to sell your soul, which we've all been there, giving you success and satisfaction, even if it's not the right time to invest, would you take it? Because now you can. You don't even have to sell your soul. Thank you. Today, I want you to have an additional income stream. I really do. I want you to have the satisfaction and the creative freedom that you want so badly. And I know it because I was there. I started the photo marketing story branding to do something when the wedding season was off, because I was a wedding photographer. I wanted to create some income in photography when the wedding season was off. So that's why I started it. I actually am at the point now where I don't photograph weddings anymore. I only do photo marketing story branding. So I am introducing for the first time the photo marketing story branding system. Yay! This is very exciting. So what it does is it creates an additional income stream for photographers. It gives you the satisfaction of serving a market that is screaming for your services. You guys, they are dying for this. They just don't know. These are the people that are calling you for headshots because that's what they know. Best case scenario, they're going to call you and they're going to say, hey, can you come photograph my office? Do some pretty pictures of my office. They don't know what's available to them. They don't know it's affordable. They don't know what to do, but they know they need something. They are screaming for your services. It gives you the freedom to become a creative director. This is so fun. I mean, isn't this why we're all photographers? Because we want to be creative? This is so much fun. I can't even tell you how much fun I'm having creating the photo marketing story branding for different clients without having the need to trial and error your way, figuring this out on your own. You know why? I did it. For the past 8 years, I did all the trial and error, figured it all out, and that's why I felt it was time. I felt that I can now package it, I can now create a course, and I can now finally teach it to photographers. I want to share with you a few case studies so you'll see what I'm talking about. This is case study number 1. This is a law firm. This is Jed Main. He is a lawyer. When I met him, he was using the picture on the top left. So he is a cowboy riding on a horse. The problem is Jed is not a cowboy and neither are his target audience. So not really relevant, right? Pretty picture, not relevant. We found out as we were going through the system that Jed specializes in choosing jurors. He's very good at it, and that's a big deal. And that is what we photographed, and that is what he is using now on the billboard, and it's working. It's absolutely working. I'm going to give you case study number 2, Lee from Accounting Simplified. Oh God, I love Lee. Here's why I love Lee. When I met Lee, first of all, she's a wonderful person, but when I met Lee, her whole website, including her headshot, was a stock photo. I mean, her headshot was not her. Okay, so Lee desperately needed photos. She was so concerned. She didn't really want her picture taken. That's many times what stops business owners from actually having their picture taken for their website. But we went through the photo marketing story branding system and she became so comfortable and she loved it. This is her website today. And she still calls me. This is a couple of years later. She calls me to tell me how many compliments she's getting on her website. And since we created this website for her, she grew 3 times. She's now had to move 3 times since we created this website, which is amazing to me. So Lee is case study number 2. Case study number 3 is a pest management company. The reason I'm showing you specifically these companies is because these are usually the small businesses that say to me, what are you going to photograph? You know, my business is so boring. You know, I'm so boring. I'm an accountant. I'm a lawyer. I do pest management. What are you going to photograph? Through the system, we understand what needs to be photographed to connect with the target audience. So on the top left is what they use. They have 2 lovely daughters, and that is what they used for their advertising and marketing. And on the bottom right is the picture we created for them. After we went through the system and decided and understood what needs to be photographed in order to connect with their target audience. So these are the 3 case studies. This is what's included in the photo marketing story branding system. This is what I've been working on for the past 6 months now, I think. So there's 6 modules, and there's also a module implementation guide. Basically, I'm literally giving you all my paperwork, everything that I use, all my forms, everything that I use in the system, I'm giving you. All you need to do is take them, brand them with your own studio, and use them yourselves. We go through everything in terms of the system. And yes, of course, we talk about pricing. Absolutely. It's module number 6. We talk about everything. So even if you've never done anything like this before, this is a step-by-step guide that helps you understand how to do it. I'm not just saying, hey, go do photo marketing story branding. No, this is how you do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You follow the steps. It's real easy. You know how to photograph. You want to have more revenue in your business. This is it. This is what worked for me. That's why I'm just so grateful to share it. So a typical investment for a program like this would cost over $10,000. And I do want to tell you, as I was creating all the modules, I realized how much information is in there. I mean, It really is a lot. When I do it day to day, I don't even realize anymore when I create photo marketing story branding for different clients. I don't even realize anymore in terms of how much information is there and how developed is the system. But then as I created this for you all, I realized this is great. I mean, really, I'm proud. I'm very proud of the system. So a system like this would cost over $10,000, but I'm not charging that much, not even close. This program isn't the same as the workshops or the trainings that you see in the photography world. This program is focused on getting you results with clients who want it and are eager to pay for it. Been in the photography world for 22 years. I love the programs. I go myself. What could happen when you go into the photography programs over and over? You you get the program, you get all excited, and then you go home and you don't do anything. This is different because this is literally, okay, this is what you need to do. Now go do it. Literally, one by one, step by step. I'm holding your hand through these videos and you just need to do it. That's all it is. And I do want to say, this isn't a magic pill. I'm not giving you a magic pill where you're like, okay, here we go, magic. Go photograph and people are going to throw money at you. This is work. I mean, this is obviously work, but this is a proven system that works. So it's not trial and error. It actually works. There is a catch. You can only get this price for the next few days. After that, the price goes back up to full. Right now, you can get the complete photo marketing story branding system for $997. You get lifetime access to all the modules for all the implementation guides and bonuses. Right now, all this for $997. You can get it all, you can start using it, and you can start seeing results in as little as 30 days. Like I said, this isn't a let me go home and, oh, well, I don't know what I was so excited about. This is, okay, I just taught you this, now go do it. I mean, this is literally step by step. If all this program did was create an additional income stream or get you from giving away your stuff for free, and I know you're doing it, to making a good living as a professional photographer, or finally allow you to break free from clients telling you that they found a cheaper photographer, and I know you're hearing that, would you agree that $997 is a tiny price to pay? It's almost insignificant, really. You really only have two options at this point. You can decide to do nothing and keep running after the workshops and the trainings and hoping that they're going to help you crack the code on making a living as a photographer. But we all know that that's a one-way, no refund ticket to Nopeville, right? Or you're going to get the everything included photo marketing story branding system that gets you the additional income stream without giving away your stuff, so that you can have a respected photography career in as little as 30 days. Even if you don't think it's possible right now, I'm telling you it is. So the choice is yours. And these are the payment options that I have available for you. Basically, you can do one payment of $997. I also have the option of 3 payments for $394 if that works better for you. Or I do have the option of 6 payments for $197. And here's why I'm doing this. I started this webinar by telling you this has been my dream. I see small businesses struggling. I see them online and I'm going, oi, 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 right? They just don't know what to do. I really, really want every small business community to have a photo marketing story branding specialist to help them in their community. I really believe in this. I know it's worked for me. It's tested, it's true, and I am very excited about it. And I think I just ran out of words. I want to say thank you so much. I want to say thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll have a wonderful evening, and just go be wonderful. Go be great.